People are completely off base when it comes to Deebo Samuel 2025. I'm going to tell you right now, anybody that's talking smack, chatting Charlies, repeating Rogers, heard it on another channel. I heard it on another channel, Smitty. Anybody talking about Deebo being slow, that he's washed, that he's cooked, all you're doing is regurgitating what, in my opinion, uneducated people are telling you. Deebo Samuel has looked fantastic in camp. His head coach has said so. His head coach said that he's one of the fastest players on the team. And anybody that judges Deebo Samuel jogging a route where he looks like he's jogging slowly doesn't even understand what Deebo does when the ball is going to be placed in his hand. He makes a decision, reads the blocks, reads the lanes, and takes the football downfield 40 yards for a touchdown. There's a reason Deebo Samuel is one of the best yak yardage players to ever play the game. Not just in the game now, not just in the last 5 or 10 years. He's one of the best yak yardage players to ever play the game, and he's never done it zipping down the field untouched. He's done it scampering around, reading the traffic, and meandering down the field in almost a very slow motion way every time he does it. So if you're going to doubt Deebo, if you're going to doubt Marvin Harrison Jr., if you're going to doubt Patrick Mahomes and a few others we're going to talk about today, it will be to your own detriment. You will sink because you didn't want to swim. This channel is trying to teach you how to swim. And anybody speaking about Deebo doesn't know what they're talking about because they're repeating what they're hearing the Fantasy Football Show. Ladies and gentlemen, the Monday through Friday show, 8 p.m. Eastern show begins right now. File on in.
FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday,
8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
We got a lot to go over here today. We're going to go live tonight. If you're not signed up on Underdog, use this link that I'm dropping right here. Tonight we'll be drafting, so please sign up ahead of time so that you don't miss out on getting in a draft. All you gotta do is click this link. The link's pinned in the live chat right this second. It's in the description of the video. And your boy is going to draft with you tonight. Okay, so get ready, saddle up, be ready to ball. And we'll see where we're drafting Deebo Samuel in 2025 best ball draft. So get ready, buckle up for that. Now, first of all, let me just say this again. Here's a video of Deebo Samuel racing around the field in practice. It was either today or yesterday. Reading the lanes, cutting left and right, slipping through defenders. And nobody can, not that they're trying to tackle right now. We're not morons, right? But he is slippery. He's a guy that's going to meander on down the field, like I said, in a reading what he's getting fashion. Taking what he can get, cutting left, cutting right, using his blockers. The best yak yardage player in the game today, and one of the best to ever do it from the yak yardage perspective. And he looks slender here. Despite what people are saying about him carrying extra LBs, the haters say things like he's cooked, he's carrying too much weight, he's toast Smitty, and then you say, okay, but what's your favorite team? The Cowboys or the Niners? I don't like Deebo because he left us. Those people don't know what they're talking about. You're either clouded by fandom, which is understandable, and I accept that more than anything. You're a Cowboys fan, you're a Niner fan, you're a fan of anyone in the conference, whatever. You have a little bit of a disdain for players that are not on your team. I understand that. Okay, at least admit that though, because the alternative is not a good look. The alternative is that you don't maybe know ball.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
The alternative is Smitty. Deebo Samuel's cooked. He's not going to do good with Jay Daniels. He's not going to do good in that Kingsbury system, Smitty. Deebo's going to be absolutely garbage. It's June 17th, Smitty. We got 3 months until football. And this man's what, not in shape? I just showed you he's in shape. So do you want to let go of the fact that he looks quick? Can we put that to bed, that his ability is back? Or are you going to hang on to that? You can hang on to it if you want. I don't care. We're moving on. We're stepping forward. Round 6 gold mine. Round 6 gold mine. Deebo goes in round number 6. This is win a league positioning right here. And guess what? The Deebo slow, Smitty. I've been told by the repeating Roger channel over here that Deebo's cooked. It's really bad right now, Smitty. That might move him. If we're lucky, that might move him to round 7. And then we're talking about just craziness, bizarro world, Twilight Zone material. But even here, he is a league winner, a straight up baller, and the haters are so easy to see coming because they bring the same repeating Roger regurgitated comments and commentary that you hear over and over. Repeating Roger. I'm repeating Roger. I heard it on another channel.
Hello.
I heard it on another channel, Smitty. I heard that Deebo, he's carrying extra weight.
He saw it on another channel.
He's not going to do well. He's not going to do well, Smitty. I'm a Niner fan. And the same thing goes for MHJ. I can't tell you how many repeating Rodgers are in the building for this 3rd round monster in MHJ. Typical comments that you need to rebuttal are these, right? This is what you hear all the time. I just don't trust Kyler. Okay. Smitty, the play calling and the Cardinals, I don't trust the Cardinals. Okay. So what are you trying to tell me? Well, I'm trying to tell you that I like MHJ. I'm trying to put one foot in the door in case he blows up so that I can say I wasn't wrong. But I'm not drafting him, Smitty, because I don't trust Kyler Murray. Well, I understand that logic. It makes sense to me that you don't trust Kyler. I don't really trust Kyler with my life. I don't trust Kyler to have a great season and play 17 games if my life is on the line. But what I do know is Kyler Murray does know how to play football. What I do know at the end of the day, if we back off our expectation, we had a receiver that had almost 900 yards. He had 800 yards and 8 touchdowns, which led the team in TDs. I do know that the GM just spoke about it and said that he thinks he had a remarkable year. He had a lot to learn. He learned it. It clicked for him mid-season. And he reminded everybody he led the team in touchdowns. This is a guy that had maybe 3, and I know this is a dangerous game to play. Well, what if you gave this guy this, catch, and what if you gave this guy this catch? But there were literally 3 or 4 blatantly obvious, wide open down the field, 50-yard touchdown, completely untouched grabs that should have went to MHJ. And if you even gave him 2 of those 40, 50-yard bombs, you're talking about him, because this is almost 900 yards, you're talking about him being a 1,000-yard receiver and at least 9 to 10 touchdowns. Had he just been throwing the ball in these 2 or 3 blatantly obvious situations. Which you could say that's on Kyler, Smitty. That's why I'm worried. But I'm just merely trying to point out that 2 plays, maybe 3 plays, but even maybe 2 plays could have been the difference between us panicking on MHJ as a collective in the fantasy community and thinking he's a monster on the rise. 1,000 yards and 10 TDs, we would have all licked our chops walking into this season, and he'd be going at 14, 15, 16, 17 overall. Had 2 plays been completed, not even his fault. If Kyler just would have thrown on the ball 2, 3 plays, blatantly obvious ones, he'd be getting drafted at 15 overall. But because he had 808, which is not that bad when you really think about it, 8 TDs is impressive. Again, team leading. There's a lot of upside here. Not to mention that his GM, his coaching staff, recently, as of today and yesterday in interviews, said that he is the first one in the building. He is the last one to leave. There's not been a day, according to his GM, that this man has not been at the facility in the offseason. He's been training like no player we've ever seen before. So while it's easy to take last year and throw it away and say, I'm not going to believe in MHJ to the tune that I did last year, I'm just not going to do it. Shame on me. I'm not doing it again. Fool me once, you can't even fool me twice, Smitty. I understand where you're coming from. But what I'm going to tell you right now is his upside. First of all, is he going to get 100 and whatever his total was? Ziggy, how many receiving yards did Marvin Harrison Jr. have in 2024?
In the 2024 season, Marvin Harrison Jr. had 885 receiving yards for the Arizona Cardinals.
Let's just be accurate here. 885. So do we, and again, 2 big, maybe 3 plays, and he would have had roughly 1,010. It's crazy when you look at it. And they're very blatant 40-yard. He's running downfield, arm up in the air. Do people think he's not getting 115 yards more as a sophomore? I don't think so. I think if you think that, maybe you're lost right now. You're in the wrong YouTube room. So does anybody think this is feasible? I assume everybody says yes. 8 touchdowns last year. Could he get 2 more this year? Does anybody think that this isn't worth 3rd round ADP? I don't understand where the discrepancy is between the minds we have on this channel, the majority, versus the people outside of this channel that hate, that say MHJ can't be the player we want him to be. We were wrong on MHJ. How does he not score 10 times and pull in 1,000 yards? Didn't know. What's Trey? What are you saying? Sorry, I'm not allowed to have a different take. Didn't know this is me. Look, you know, it's not about that, Trey. It's about your attitude. So I'll put you in timeout real quick. You can come back in 5 minutes, and if you want to be a part of the community, fine. If you don't, you don't. But no need to call out people and say what you're saying about the community. You're literally ripping on the entire community, and you think that you're going to be able to stay here and communicate and conversate with everybody in the live chat, talking the way you are, disparaging and talking down to everybody that's in the live chat. That's what you're doing. You're not giving a different opinion. You're in here literally saying people are, I'm not going to repeat what you wrote. So think about it for 5 minutes. Come back if you want. I'm more than happy to let it all, you know, bygones be bygones, start over, reset. That's if you want to stay, though. There's no need for you to stay if you don't want to. I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable here. So my question is, again, can I get a thumbs up in the chat and a thumbs down in the chat, or an eggplant emoji or a fire emoji or a sad face or whatever? Spinach. If you don't like spinach, I know H-Han likes spinach. I know Devon H-Han loves spinach.
Let him cook.
But can I get a yes or a no, positive or a negative? Do we think that this right here is possible? 1,010. And do you think that earns his reasonable win a league ADP in the 3rd round? No one has to get 1,200 or 1,400 yards out of MHJ and 14 touchdowns to win a league in the 3rd round. If he pulls in pretty much what he should have pulled in last year, gets 115 more yards and 2 more measly touchdowns, maybe 10 to 15 more receptions, or even the same receptions, he wins you a league at 3rd round value potentially. So I love the doubt around MHJ. I love the doubt around 6th round, 7th round Deebo Samuel. I think these are 2 players that are going to make doubters regret the day they doubted these 2 gentlemen that are coming for everybody. These 2 gentlemen that people love to hate because of fandom or whatever the case may be. These are 2 players that are going to help you win leagues. These are 2 players that are popular to hate upon, and is causing drama in the chat already. You can understand, I know what I'm talking about here when I say these are 2 polarizing players, and they will continue to be. And what do polarizing players have in common? There's enough doubters to keep their ADP at bay, which means we're probably not seeing either one of these guys climb into a value or territory that we say, never mind, I'm out. I loved him earlier, but now he's going too high. Not unless Marvin Harrison Jr. pulls in 8 remarkable touchdown grabs in the next 2 or 3, weeks that are all over the place, plastered everywhere. I could see him climbing to the bottom of round 2. But even then, if he's earning that respect out of everybody, he's probably still earning our respect at a higher clip. So if he rises in ADP for a reason, we will be accepting probably of that newfound ADP, I'm guessing. And Deebo Samuel, I doubt he climbs past round 6. I bet at most he climbs to the top of 6. And I think at worst he falls probably into 7. But because there's people that are going to say this is a value. But I don't think he moves anywhere that much. I don't think he can. I think even if he does something nice, people will say he's going to get hurt. Look how slow he looks. These are 2 league winners. I've got Deebo in Dynasty, and I also think Deebo's one of the best trade fours in Dynasty. Not because I think he's going to last 5 years. It's because people want to get rid of him. Deebo Samuel, you could toss out a second rounder right now on a win now team. Grab Deebo Samuel and go win some cash money. Deebo Samuel's every bit worth a second round pick. Deebo Samuel is a win now player. I've got JD5 and Deebo in a dynasty league, and I couldn't be more pleased with that connection. I couldn't be more, my expectation levels to the moon. Deebo Samuel having double-digit touchdowns, maybe it's half rushing, half receiving. Deebo Samuel having yak yardage galore going on over there in Washington, being a very steady option for JD5. Probably eating into a little bit of McLaurin's TD numbers, bringing those back down to earth a little bit. Not saying McLaurin can't get you 10 or 11 touchdowns, but this is probably not going to be a 15 touchdown McLaurin. This is probably going to be a 10 and 10 between the 2 receivers in Washington. Still a very good year for Terry McLaurin, but Terry McLaurin's getting overdrafted in some ways. I've seen him go as high as late second, top of round 3. And to me, that isn't baking in any sort of risk or regression that's likely to occur with the emergence of this man right here, Deebo Samuel, that the team traded for. That Adam Peters winning brought him over from San Francisco, where Adam Peters rose up and grabbed George Kittle. He identified George Kittle, scouted George Kittle, scouted Brock Purdy, scouted a lot of the players that the Niners have right now that have risen up and become monsters. He comes over in his first season as the GM of the Washington Commanders, and Adam Peters has done a marvelous job. And he didn't go get Ayuk. Remember when Ayuk wanted to go to the Commanders so bad? And remember what we said when Adam Peters didn't want it? Trust him. I said, I know it seems like Ayuk and JD5 being best friends could be a good thing, but I trust Adam Peters. If Adam Peters doesn't want it, then I don't want it. Because Adam Peters knows Ayuk very well. Adam Peters helped scout Ayuk. And if Adam Peters didn't feel like it would allow JD5 to be his own player, develop his own way outside of his tendencies from the past, he wanted him to be a new blossoming player that would blossom up and become something different, his own player, not be held back by traditions of the past or habits of the past. And boy, did Adam Peters make a wise decision. And guess who's now a Washington Commander? The other wide receiver, the better wide receiver, the top 12 to 15 wide receiver in 2025.
Let him cook.
And if 12 is a little bullish, we'll call him top 15 to 20, okay? If that makes people feel more comfortable. There's an upside for more, but let's call him 15 to 18 feels about right to me. I really think he could be that. And keep in mind that he doesn't have to do all that receiving. He's going to do much of that, rushing the football as well. So these two guys are glorious ADP values and phenomenal players to go get in your fantasy football leagues in Dynasty via trade. Trade is a phenomenal dynasty trade is a phenomenal way to get some Deebo shares on your team because he'll cost you nothing. This guy right here is he's falling. He's going later than before, which is really crazy because we had good positive news on Rashee Rice. He looks fantastic. He looks full go. Worthy, positive news on Worthy. Worthy, they say, is going to He's got everything picked up. He's going to be a phenomenal player. Rashard Smith. They added Jalen Royals. This is one of the most talented Chief offenses we've ever seen. And Mahomes is going to go crazy. Just go ballistic this year. Kelsey dropped, they say, 20 plus LBs and looks in good shape. And even if he's not, Gray could step up. Gray's always done good when they've counted on him. So this should be Mahomes' probably best year he's had in 4 years, maybe. And for some reason, People don't want anything to do with him. And part of it, I believe, a big, strong reason why people don't want to go near Mahomes is because they continue to.
He saw it on another channel. He's a repeating Roger.
They can continue to regurgitate the negativity that is being spun out there in record pace. I mean, it's crazy how many people are creating content around let Mahomes go. He's no longer a fantasy football top 5 quarterback. Mahomes is not that guy anymore. Reed doesn't do that anymore. Those are people that don't know what they're talking about. Reed morphs into something different every 3 or 4 or 5 years anyway. He's nothing but a running back creating monster, right? And then he gets Mahomes, and he's nothing but a passing monster. Tyreek Hill. And then he adapted like no other coach we've ever seen before when he had no weapons. So what they do, they drained the clock. They won games in a tough fashion and almost had a three-peat. And now they've added all this other talent in Brashard Smith and Jalen Royals to make sure they're secured up with Pacheco being often injured. Pacheco's looking good. I'm starting to like his ADP, which I didn't earlier on. I'm starting to admit that Pacheco's looking great in round 9 on Underdog. If he falls there, Brashard Smith, cuff him. Brashard Smith is a midseason monster right here at the bottom. Brashard Smith, these are a bunch of great midseason monsters. Mason, Grendo James, Benson, Milrow, Milton, Merritt, Davis, Tootin, Bigsby. But Brashard Smith right here at the bottom, this team is so ready. They've got probably a top 4 pass-catching offense in the National Football League. They've got a top 4 pass-catching room in the National Football League. Top 4. At least top 5. And if you don't think they do, you're a hater. You're a Chiefs hater. And that's okay. Just admit it. This guy is going to return to glory. He's not far removed from being a top 5 QB year in and year out. He was QB1 in 2018. Yeah, QB8. Worst season he had. 3, 4, 1. And he's still top 10. He's still never been outside the top 10. But yet he gets hate. He's never going to be the same. Watch him. Tom Brady went through the same sort of pathway. There's going to be up and down seasons. Sometimes they're back-to-back. It's a lot of it's due to change and injury. They have Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Kelsey, Brashard Smith, Pacheco, Jalen Royals. This team is stacked. And Mahomes was going about 80, I don't know, about I'd say about 72 to 80 overall on ADP, Underdog ADP. So it was right around that territory, 72 to 80. Guess where he's at now? Guess where his newfound ADP is at? Probably the biggest ADP value in fantasy football, period. 80, I think it's 5 to 88, 87. That's his new ADP. Overall, 85 to 87. This is a guy that I'm getting at the top of round 8 sometimes. He is cemented into round 6 to 7 for sure. And I'm pushing my luck more and more to see if I could get him in round number 8, and I'm landing him probably at a 70% rate at the top of round 8. It's wild. It's insane. And the ability to cuff him to Kelsey, who goes another round or so later, and then to already have had Rashee Rice or Worthy on your team is such an amazing stack. Keep in mind that Best Ball Mania last year was won with Burrow, Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, and Higgins all on the winning roster. But you have to ask yourself, where did that gentleman get these players? This was probably around round 6 maybe. Chase Brown was around 5-ish, 5 to 6. Jamar Chase was in round 1, and Higgins was probably in like 4 to 5-ish. So the reason that you can win Best Ball Mania, Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty, by the way, link's pinned in the live chat. You'll get up 50% matching your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. We'll be drafting tonight on Underdog, so make sure you sign up, click that link. The reason you can win a Best Ball Mania with this team is because where's your second rounder? You spent it on another player because you didn't have to use it to build this. Where's your third rounder? To good use, drafting another player. You're packaging using a second, a third, a fourth rounder potentially with this to go win a championship. The problem with doing this strategy this year is guess where you're drafting all these guys. Burrow, you're drafting him in round 4. Chase Brown, you're grabbing him in 3. Jamar Chase, you're grabbing a 1. T. Higgins, you're grabbing in 2. All straight in the 4. I mean, maybe you get lucky and Burrow goes to 5. But you're literally taking your top 4 drafted players and making them these guys. That wasn't the case last year. So trying to win a championship with the same recipe won't be rinse and repeat. It won't be, because you now only have round 5, 6, 7, 8 to support this group if they don't do well. So what do? How do you rinse and repeat the strategy? You go for the next stack that's underrated. You go for the Mahomes stack. You get Mahomes, who goes in round, we'll call it 7 now. I don't even say 6 to 7. He's going to 7 or 8, so we'll put 7. You grab Rashee Rice, who's going in round number 3. You grab maybe Brashard Smith, who goes at the very end of your draft, so round 18 plus. You could get Royals if you want. Kelsey's going in round number, I would say 8 to 9. If you want the best ball mania rinse and repeat strategy of last year, you're grabbing this crew. You're spending not even round 1 on this package. You're not spending your round 2 pick on this package. You're only spending 3, 7, 18, and an 8 or a 9 rounder. This is the best way to rinse and repeat the best ball mania winning formula from last year with the Kansas City cheap stack to allow all the other players to package in. Another great one, Dak Prescott. Where does he go? I don't know, 9 to 11? Where does CeeDee Lamb go? Round 1? Where does Pickens go? Probably 6-ish. Depends on if you're drafting on underdog and grandma leagues. And then Blue's probably going, I don't, 10 plus. This right here is the best ball mania winning strategy as well. You know what's better than this? This plus the Mahomes all in one. You have Dak, Lamb, Pickens, Blue, Mahomes, Rice, Kelsey, all stacked together, cross-streaming like crazy, and you're exploding. That's what I've been preaching all offseason. To get not only this, but to cross-stream this stack, baby. Cross-streams. We cross streams on this channel, and we do it live.
Let him cook.
We do it live. Super chats are going to be handled real quickly, and then we'll get back to a few more things. This super chat from Arthur. Arthur, appreciate both your super chats. Your first one, young man, says, Smitty, I'm at 3.8 in a redraft keeper league. If Gibbs falls to me, who do I take him over? Neighbors, if he's there. Okay, you're at I'm 3.8 in a redraft keeper league. I don't really understand how Gibbs is in the third round at 3.8. What do you mean? I'm 3.8 in a redraft keeper league. Can you maybe clarify on that? It's a 14-man double flex. Is it super flex? Is that why Gibbs would be there? I have no idea why Gibbs would be there, but my answer would be this, bro. I mean, wide receivers have a tendency to be, they're going to last longer, but Gibbs is still so early on in his career. This is an easy, you can't lose any which way you go. The only thing I would say is if it feels like it's a running back hungry environment where running backs are going to fly off the board, then I'd probably say go Gibbs and then try and get these Rashee Rice, Mahomes, Travis Hunter value wide receivers later. But if it's going to be one of those things where you're going to get Kyron, you're going to get Hampton, you're going to get Breece Hall or Kyron and potentially Hampton and Harvey, or Hendy and Harvey, you can build a running back stable like that, then Neighbors is a fantastic choice. But I will say this. I will say that it depends on that running back hungry potential in that league. I have a buddy league that I've been drafting in for, I think it's been going since it's like year 28 or something. It's crazy. And it's got like 4 guys left from the original. It's been, a mess keeping it going. But I'm going running back in that draft. And that's not to say I'm taking a plan of attack. Like I say, use best player available always, but I can guarantee you the best player available is RB the way that these guys draft. And Arthur dropping this last question here. He says, my bad, that Gibbs over Neighbors is in the first round. Okay, so 3.8, you just mean you're at 1.8 then, I guess is what you're trying to say? Oh, 3.8 Marv or Rice. Okay, so 1.8 and then 3.8 Marv or Rice. I like Marv and Rice about the same. I really believe in both of them, bro. I'd probably say I like Marv a little bit more. I like Rice has got a potential suspension. Probably not going to happen this year, but next year. And I like them both about the same. But give me Marv because I still believe Marv's upside and ceiling value that we all thought was top 5 walking into his rookie year is still there. And I know that Rice has that potential too, which is why it's a tough call. But I'm going to go with Marv if it's me. But I love both of them. You can't go wrong. If one gets snagged, feel very confident in the other. But having that wide receiver makes me almost want to say Gibbs if you can, just so you don't get screwed out of RB. I would say Gibbs unless you're telling me, you message me back and say, Smitty, wide receivers fly off like in best ball. Then I would say Neighbors, but that's the only way I'd say Neighbors. The only way. Again, guys, this is an amazing stack, this Dallas attack. Why? Well, I've got science behind it. It's not like I just come out and spit out nonsense. I have actual scientific data that corroborates what I'm saying about the Dallas Cowboys and what they can do in 2025. Does anybody know what that data is? It has to do with fire, and it has to do with the... Here, I'll just hit it.
Deck attack. Deck attack.
Notice the flame, the science behind how he moves about.
Deck attack. Deck attack. Deck attack. Deck attack.
So drop that triangle emoji if you plan to deploy the Dak attack strategy at some point. Question here by True Penguin says Knicks or Dak. I mean, that's easy, bro. As much as I love Dak Prescott, Knicks is a top 5 to 6 quarterback this year. Knicks top 5 to 6 QB. And in Dynasty, I like Bo Nix over Hurts, but quietly. And now the Hurts people are going to go, what? That hurts my feelings, Smitty. That hurts my feelings. You don't like Hurts. I like Hurts. We've always liked Hurts. He was one of the original moonmen. The first year we did moonmen, he was on the moonman list. We called Hurts. We told you about Jalen Hurts.
Where do you go? Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, We did. We told him. We told everyone he was a steal in round 6. He was in round 6 and 7. And do you know how many people won money hand over fist with our call of Jalen Hurts in round 6, 7? We did that. We did that. But just like we called that, here we are, calling Bo Nix's rise. Bo Nix, in my opinion, and we've already done a show on this, so you can get your panties in a bunch all you want. Go watch the other video on this. It'll really drive you nuts. Trade Hurts for Bo Nix and a +1. I'm not saying just anybody. The value of Hurts is skyrocket higher than Bo Nix. Hurts has massive value over Bo Nix. So what does that tell you? You get a boatload more. What did I do? So Nix is a top 5 to 6 QB. What did I do in Dynasty? I thought about this a lot, and I said on my Patreon, by the way, if you want to join the Patreon, link is in the description. I'll drop the link right now, and I'll pin the link. Join my Patreon, $10 a month, cancel anytime. That's like a cup of coffee, and it's a 365, 24/7 chat group. And I went on my Patreon. Let me see if I can. I'll pin that in a second. I went on my Patreon and I said, guys, I know we can get away with a lot here, but I like Nix more than I like Jalen Hurts. Now I don't know if that'll for sure come true This year, I think it can, for sure. But dynasty-wise, I like Knicks more than Hurts. But because the whole world's going to think that's crazy, guess what time it is? Shopping season.
Let him cook.
And I said to myself, if I'm all by myself here, and I like Hurts less than I like Knicks, shh, bring it in. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. It's a secret. If I like Hurts less than I like Bo Nix in Dynasty, what kind of +1 can I get for that? So I went to my Patreon and I said, hey, Patreon members, you monsters. And I'll pin that Patreon link right now. It is pinned in the live chat right now as we speak. If it'll let me pin it, it won't let me pin it. Damn it. Pin it. There we go. I went to my Patreon members and I said, I'll be right back. I'm going to go see if I can trade in my Dynasty League Hurts away for Bo Nix and something massive. I went to the guy's roster and I looked down the list and I said, he's got Breece Hall. I wonder if he'll give me his 2 future first rounders or Breece Hall. So I sent him 2 trade offers. Hurts for Knicks and 2 ones, and one of which I think could have been pretty damn high. And I sent him that offer, and then I also sent him this offer. Knicks plus Breece Hall for Hurts, straight up. No additional player, no second rounder, no fab dollars, just a straight up 1 for 2. He accepted this trade within 2 minutes. Knicks is a monster, bro. Knicks is an absolute straight monster. Let's go to the super chats. We've got one from Kevin. Kevin, my boy, dropping it like it's hot. Says with the $5 hauler, thanks for the help with my draft, Smitty. Superflex tight end premium. My squad is Knicks, May, Superflex, love it. Kyron, Garrett Wilson, and McBride, and more picks coming. So you got Garrett Wilson, you got Kyron. I love the Kyron pick. I love that, bro. You were talking about doing that. Travis Hunter, make sure you get Travis Hunter if he's there. I forget if he's there. That would be, you might have said he got snagged if I remember correctly. But Travis Hunter would be league-changing, league-winning to get him. Redraft best ball round 6, Hendy or Harvey. I switch it. I go back and forth, man. I would do 1 and 1 and do it the other way in another draft, man. They're $5, $3 drafts you can get in. So check out both avenues, bro. And in some cases, you just get both of them. You know, Hendy falls to 5, and so you get Hendy in 5, and you get Harvey in 6. But if Hendy falls to 6, take advantage of it. Try and kick Harvey down one more round. See if you can get it done. But I certainly would take advantage of the Hendy in round 6. And then the next time you do a draft, Hendy probably goes in 5, late 5. And then you take Harvey in 6, and you take another player if Hendy gets sniped. But, I mean, you can't go wrong. I love both of them, bro. People that hate Harvey are the same people that hated Achan and Kyron and doubt Mahomes will ever be good, and they act like you know, Knicks is trash. It's the same person. It's the same type. And then before we move on to phone calls, let me just say this too. This guy right here is climbing my board so quickly. His stock is not going up. It's skyrocketing like a rocket in space already, blasting through the orbit. And it's trying to get straight to Mars. It's trying to go straight to Saturn. I think it's trying to skip going to Mars. Ward looks fantastic. And you know what I love more than anything right now in best ball, aside from a few usual things? I think it's grabbing Ward, grabbing Aomanor, and also grabbing Restrepo. Grabbing both rookie wide receivers. So, well, right here. Both rookie wide receivers in best ball to go with Ward. I believe it's going to be a gold mine. I think Ward's going to be fan-freaking-tastic. Ward is easily had as a QB3 in Best Ball Mania. Ward is QB3. Forgot the B. QB3 in Best Ball Mania. That's soon going to change to a QB2. Because guess what he is? He's probably a low-end QB1. Understand what I'm saying. Cam Ward is probably a low QB1, but you can get him as your QB3 in Best Ball Mania. You can get him as your QB3. And on that note, screw it. On that note, screw it. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. We're doing it live.
The moonmen dropping loads in outer space.
He looks fantastic.
Space Monsters.
I love what I'm seeing out of Shadur. I love what I'm seeing out of Ward. Shadur, maybe he's more of a midseason monster, but Shadur and Ward are going to prove a lot of nonsensical people wrong that have been ripping on this QB class saying it sucks, it's not going to do well. Ward looks fantastic. And Ao Minor or Restrepo, one of the two, maybe Restrepo is college wide receiver that Ward begged him to go get. You might see Ward turn one of those rookie wide receivers into a top 25 wide receiver in year one. So congrats to Ward for making the Moonmen list. Let's hit that one more time for good measure.
The moonmen dropping loads in outer space.
They should do a midseason monster because he's got to be. He's not. God, it's so packed. The midseason monster. You know, Shadur is almost a revenge tour candidate. We've never put a revenge tour candidate on the revenge tour board that hadn't failed for a year. But can I get a blessing on that from the chat, the general chat? Not that I need anybody's approval necessarily, but I work for you. Can we say that Shadur's been so wronged that he deserves to be on the revenge tour board as just a point of principle? I'm getting an okay from everybody. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I don't even care. Because this guy's been spat on, stepped on, called trash.
It's time for some revenge, baby. Revenge tour, revenge tour. Revenge tour, revenge tour.
I love it. I love it. He is such a good revenge tour candidate. It's going to confuse people. People are going to come in all angry and say when he's doing well, why did you put Shadur on the revenge tour board, Smitty? He hadn't played yet. And we're going to say, because all off season, I'm arguing it. Looks beautiful. It looks beautiful.
It's time for some revenge, baby.
He is coming for everybody, revenge style. Just like Cam Ward's, Cam Ward hasn't been doubted to like a crazy degree, but let's be honest. The hype around Genty and everybody else has put Ward in some sort of little corner. Like, oh, he's okay. When Ward is Cam Ward.
The moonmen dropping loads in outer space.
He's going to really be out to prove himself.
Space Monsters.
And I think that, Ward is this is a disrespectful off season, in my opinion. I mean, he doesn't mind. He's flying under the radar. He's got a lot of pressure on him. The team's kind of, it's like Carolina. Bryce Young, a lot of upside, but still a lot of question marks. There's some talent on this roster in Tennessee. There's some talent on the Carolina Panthers roster, but these are high pressure situations where it's not necessarily a cakewalk for both Bryce Young and Ward to have great seasons, but Ward looks unbelievably in command in amazing fashion. We got a couple super chats coming in. Let's swing on over to the super chat. This one is from Young. Young, appreciate you, my boy. Coming in strong with the super chat, my boy. Young to the freaking moon. Young says the following. I got attacked on a Niner page for defending Deebo last week. So start this live stream really hit home for me. Bro, the crazy part about these anti-Deebo Samuel people is, yeah, they oftentimes are Niner fans, and they used to be fans of him. They used to be Deebo bros. And now Deebo's getting mad disrespected, and people are running their mouth about Deebo as if they know what they're talking about. Anybody that says Deebo's too overweight and slow is either a hater because they're a Niner fan and they're bitter, a rival fan base type of thing going on, or they don't know ball. Or they're just, they're busy. Maybe they know ball, but they're busy, and they're repeating Roger, and they heard another channel speak about it. That's what it is. Young, appreciate you dropping that super chat, my boy. You're the man, the myth, the legend. I think I've got all of the I wanted to talk about off my plate and out of my... Oh, no, we got one more. This one's a negative one. We've got a lot of positive stuff, but let me just say this. New York is trying to make this look like it's a good thing. They're releasing footage of Dart, being very careful, meticulous about what they release of Dart. I'm hearing more negative than positive on Jackson Dart. I'm hearing there's a lot of concern. I'm hearing, and this part is just people speculating that they regret not taking Shedeur. Well, who the hell told you to take Shedeur over and over and over? This guy. So if New York's regretting their decision, and I'm starting to really wonder if Daboll is even remotely capable of being a good coach. Maybe he's a good quarterback cultivator when you hand him the quarterback, but Daboll's proving to be a moron in some cases. Just straight up inability to make good decisions, and not only make good decisions, but make them consecutively. And I'm not saying that Dart is a total bust yet, but I'm telling you that Shedeur Sanders is twice the quarterback that Jackson Dart is. And you can call on the phone line and debate it with me all you want. But what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing in the vibe check in New York is that they're worried and they drafted the wrong guy. And Shedeur is doing nothing but impress. Shedeur is doing nothing but making people realize he is exactly what we probably should have known he was. We told everybody. We talked about it over and over. I was shocked as hell. I was wrong on how some teams would react to all the negative stuff being shoved down everybody's throat. The media is toxic. It's a copycat league where this is a league where the NFL, literally these owners and teams copy each other. If they're going to be out on Shedeur, we're going to be out on Shedeur. Not one team can think for themselves. And I'm not even patting the Cleveland Browns on the back because they passed on him 4 times. So Cleveland should be ashamed of themselves, and they took Gabriel over him. So I'm not going to even give them a pat on the back. And Cleveland still doesn't fully know what's up, maybe. So I'm still not going to pat him on the back. But Shedeur's taking it in stride. He's been humble about his place in the organization and how it all went down from day one of getting drafted. You can talk about him. Oh, he's not a humble guy. He wears a legendary necklace that I don't like, and I hate his dad. From that point of getting drafted, the humility that he felt, he's done nothing but skyrocket his value. Shedeur's the guy, and Jackson Dart may or may not be, but Shedeur is. And I hope that Jackson Dart, for the sake of neighbors, well, you know who else steps in? Winston. And Winston turns Neighbors into a top 3 wide receiver. If Neighbors gets his wish, if we get our wish and Winston gets in there. I'm not saying Jackson Dart is trash yet. I'm not saying he can't rebound. I'm just saying Shedeur's the pick, and we knew it all along. We told everyone.
Let him cook.
Phone lines are open, darling.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in, dial in, dial in. Hate what I said, dial in. Love what I said, dial in. Have a question, dial in. Your boy's here to serve. I work for you. We're live 365. Well, we're not live 365. We're live. Well, yeah, we are live 365 days. But we're live more than anyone you can find, I challenge you. I'm live whenever big news breaks. I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm live most every midnight. We took off last night at midnight, but we'll be back at it tonight. We'll be drafting on Underdog, so please hit this link I'm going to drop in the live chat. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Click this link right here. This link will get you all ready to go and get you dressed up and ready for the ball. Cinderella, so you can draft with us. Underdog will match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. But the minimum's only $10. You do $10, they'll give you $5. But you got to be ready and signed up. That takes 2 minutes. Click it. The link inserts code Smitty, but the link's in the description if you ever need it. And Daniel with a super chat real quickly says, Dart drafted before Sanders. I told you, check the bold prediction. Yeah, he did. Daniel did tell us that. But Daniel, did you do? And there's no making fun of that call. You got it right. I mean, goodness gracious. But did you make it in a positive sense? I'm curious, Daniel, if you made it in a positive sense. And are you retracting the positive vibe, or do you like Dart? It's okay if you do. I said he's not necessarily a bust yet, but he doesn't look good. But Daniel called that 100%, which is actually pretty damn phenomenal. So, Daniel, thank you for that super chat. And you're in the lead so far of winning the bold prediction list, which is up here on the board. Let me put up this right here. Daniel's in the lead right now on the board up above, as you can see right here. Can you hear me okay? Daniel's up on the board here, $50 predictions. Anybody that drops a $50 prediction and you get it right, and even if you get it wrong, like let's say you say Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to have 1,500 yards and 25 touchdowns. And let's say he has 1,499 yards and 24 touchdowns. You're going to have me nominating your pick anyway. And then what I do is I get them all together, any of them that have hit or they look really good, or even if you predict two things and one of them's right, but it's a fantastic prediction, we'll bring it to the crew and everybody's going to vote, and the winner will, on the phone, maybe video, depending on a few things, but you'll co-host a show with me. The winner will co-host the show. Maybe we'll get more stuff to go along with that anyway. All right, go ahead. Who's on the phone line here? I've got two people on the phone line. 509, what's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, it's Mr. G.
What's up, G?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, bro.
So I was listening to your show the other day, and you were talking about trading away Hurts for Knicks.
Yes, sir.
What other quarterbacks would you do in that scenario for? Would you do it for Mahomes, or would you do it for May with a piece?
Maybe May. It depends. I think May's an interesting. Let me merge these two calls. Hold on a second. Let me get these calls. Mute yourself real quickly. I'm going to add a few of you to the phone line. So Kevin and Travis, I'm going to add you guys. Mute yourself if you could, and let me go back. So I love Bo Nix. Let me see if I can. I got to get this graphic. Okay. I love Bo Nix most of all for that, because I think he can be a top mother freaking 5 QB this year.
Right. The Bo Nix owner, he's attached to him, and he won't trade him.
So
but he does have Drake May.
Mahomes I like even more. Like Mahomes and Nix are both top 5-6 dynasty QBs to me. So I love both of them. So if you can attack that, I think there's a world.
So you're okay.
Where
You'd be okay with that in dynasty. You're okay.
Well,
with that.
But the goal is you're taking Hurts, who's got more value, especially perceived value, and you're trying to go get a +1, and you're trying to get a +1 to the tune of Hall, to the tune of players like that. So for me, it's a home run smash to go get a. Can you guys hear me? Okay, is my volume all right?
Would you do a Hurts for Mahomes and ETN?
Hurts for Mahomes and ETN. No, ETN does not cut it, in my opinion. I don't think ETN is a good enough player. Let me see if I can change this real quickly. Hold on. Is that better? Is that better audio, guys? Let me know if you can hear me a little bit better. ETN's not going to cut it, bro. I would probably say.
Okay,
let me know if that's good enough volume, guys. I think the players that come to mind are like Harvey, Breece Hall, Kyron Williams, DK Metcalf in some cases. Other players like that, first round picks. Like I said, when I made my guesstimation that I could take Hurts in Dynasty and turn him into Knicks plus something amazing. Something amazing. ETN's not amazing. ETN could lose his job. So Knicks plus something amazing for my Hurts. I thought of 2 first-rounders, not 1, 2 first-rounders, because I could get away with something crazy, or Breece Hall. So another court, like if you go down to like, let's say Dak or Kyler, which I still would consider for Hurts, the value of the other player goes up significantly, which means that you no longer are hunting for DK Metcalfs. You're trying to get Travis Hunter, Hendy, Harvey. You're for sure needing something very significant to go from Hurts to Kyler. Not because I think they can't hang with Hurts, because I have concerns about Hurts long term. I really do. I think the tush push is gonna tear him down a little bit here and there, and he's gonna get injured, and it's something that's very abusive to his body. Number 2, I think Roger Goodell has it out for the tush push, and he failed miserably, thinking he didn't need to prepare that much for strong arming these teams. And look what he did. He missed out by a hair. So now what is he going to do? Prepare? It's going to be gone at some point. There's no way Roger Goodell isn't all over this next offseason. And so there's a really good chance. There's a really good chance. There's a really good chance that Hurts goes from a 14 to 15 capable rushing touchdown QB down to what Bo Nix is doing. Bo Nix is already almost superhuman running the ball. Bo Nix ran for 460, 470 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground as a rookie. So if he can up that to like 550 and 6, then, maybe Hurts still runs for 9 or 10 touchdowns without the tush push. Maybe he runs for 500 yards. But I still believe that Nix will double his passing production. The difference between what Nix is going to do with the tush push gone and what you're going to see passing-wise, the discrepancies through the roof. Nix can throw for 40 touchdowns. Hurts barely can get you 20, 19, 20, 18. So it's not even close to me to go get Nix plus something amazing versus just holding on and hanging on to Jalen Hurts. So, but again, if you go after Dak and you don't get Nix, or you go after Kyler, or you go after Drake May, who you asked about, you need somebody much more significant than I think just Breece Hall. It's still okay. It's not the end of the world, but May's got a lot lower value. So you got to think a little bit more, outside the box. Who else does he have on his roster? Read off the potential big name players that you might be able to steal away in a Hurts to May downgrade.
Well, the hard thing is he is an Oregon fan. So he is attached and he is in rebuild. He has Bucky, but there is no go on Bucky outside. He's got Waddle. That is his asset. He is horrible.
Yeah. Can you guys hear my mic okay or no?
Hey, Smitty, can you hear me?
You what, Travis?
I guess your mic is like too loud, and the callers have an echo. Right now.
Okay. Let me switch back over to. All right, we'll go back over to that. I'm sorry. Go ahead and repeat what you were saying, bro.
He's got Nick and May. He's in rebuild and he's attached to Oregon. So he lives in Oregon. So everybody Oregon, Nick, Bucky, and he has them both, and neither of those two are available. And he's got Waddle and Reed. That's about it. And Garendo.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Look,
yeah, I don't know
you almost have to go to first rounders. But May and Travis, did you hear any of what he said? Read off the guys again. Travis likes May.
He's got Waddle, Reed, Garendo, May.
Yeah.
Lloyd.
Nothing, bro. You're trying to force a square peg into a triangle hole. It's got knobs all over it.
It's gross.
First rounders, but even that like doesn't have the same allure, because if you can win now, then you don't want to make this move with that guy. You need to go to a different owner. You need to go to the Mahomes owner, go to the and it's not like I don't like May, but the whole point is if you're going from Hurts to May, you need to have a Breece Hall or a Harvey or a Hendy or something very significant, because if you don't, then it doesn't make any sense to do this move.
The Mahomes owner actually approached me the other day for Hurts. The same day you had your video the other day. I thought it was weird. She also has Henry, Tyreek, Mike Evans, Kelsey, Flowers, Andrews, Ridley. She's got an older team. ETN.
Say the best parts. Don't read the trash. What's the best 3 or 4 players?
Henry, Hill, Evans, Flowers.
Too old, right?
Yeah,
all too old.
Yeah. I don't know.
Unless I could get a combination of them.
Call back when you got. I got to move on, but call back when you got another one, bro.
All right.
Later.
Thanks, Smitty.
All right, Travis, you're live.
Yeah, I was actually going to call in about Dart too. I don't. I mean, I know they took him as their second first rounder, but like I never got the point of taking him in the first round because I don't see like a huge ceiling on him. So you're essentially same with when the Steelers took Kenny Pickett. Like you're drafting a guy to be maybe a solid starter in the NFL, maybe have a couple good years at the most, but I mean, I never saw much of a ceiling with Dart, which is why I thought Shador was a better fit because I think Shador has a much higher ceiling. But
yeah, I'm so mad for Neighbors, you know, because like I'm telling you, I know for a fact that they're not happy right now. I'm not saying that can't change. Maybe Dart progresses really well, you know, just like Marvin Harrison Jr. Didn't do well his rookie year. So anything's possible, but right now, you know, they're regretting their decision. And Shador looks so good. He's command. I almost think this might help Shador Sanders be a better quarterback. Everything he's gone through, I think it's going to make him learn the right way. And nothing got handed to him. And this is the first time in his life things haven't been handed to him. And I think it's been humbling to him. He's been kicked right in the sack. And he got right back up, took it in stride. This is going to build his character. And his team's going to respect him. The attitude he brought when he went into the draft was, I'm cocky, my dad, gold chains, diamond chains, we're the best, we're the Sanders, baby, you know, deal with it. And I bet you a lot of players would have looked at him like a lot of players looked at Caleb, you know, that said, don't bring that Hollywood crap into the locker room, you're going to get eaten alive. And I think Shador going in and earning the team's respect is going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm so excited for him. But Dart, I'm worried as hell about Dart. I think Dart doesn't look good, and they're showing a lot of, you know, they're being very careful with what gets released. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, and I mean, I know a lot of people don't like Dion, you know, because he's cocky and stuff, but it really shows, and you know, you got to give him credit. He raised 2 good kids. Because Shador is taking this in stride, and his brother Shiloh is just getting like glowing reviews down in Tampa. So you know they're both like team leaders, and they're taking it in stride with where they end up in the draft. And you got to give some credit there, you know, even if you hate the guy.
All right, Travis, hang tight 1 second. I'll be back for you. Kevin, you're live. Then I'll go over to Matthew, and then over to Bruce. So Kevin, you're live. Hello?
So, Smitty, you've helped me out a lot yesterday. So, since yesterday, I've had 2 more picks. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Smitty, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello?
We can hear you.
We hear you.
So, I have 2 more picks since yesterday. So, I got Garrett Wilson. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. William, we can hear you, damn it.
Yo. I've got...
All right. He's going to have to call back. I mean, look, do we have to activate the no-nonsense phone line? Do we need to activate the no-nonsense phone line? I think it's time to activate it. Here we go. No-nonsense phone line has been activated. 1 second. Let me, I got to find it. Here it is.
The no-nonsense phone line protocol has been activated. No small talk, greetings, or story build-ups will be tolerated and will result in disconnection.
The no-nonsense phone line has been activated. You ask me how you're doing. You ask me, can I hear you? You ask me what's for dinner. You get hung up on. No-nonsense phone line activated. Let's give William one more chance. William, go. You're live.
Okay, so I had 2 more draft picks. I'm 4 picks away. So right now, my team is McBride, Nix, May, Kyron, and Garrett Wilson.
Filthy.
And I'm 5 picks away.
Filthy. All right. Who's on the board? Straight filth.
Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Chase Brown for running backs,
Nice.
Josh Jacobs, James Cook, wide receivers, Roma Doomsday, Xavier Worthy, Devontae Smith, Terry McLaurin,
Man,
Flowers.
all the veterans are just getting left out there, bro. What about so Hunter's gone, Hendy's gone, Harvey's gone?
Harvey's still there.
Oh yeah, man, I can't. I don't know if I could turn away from Harvey. If I had to rank him, I'd say Harvey, then probably Chase Brown, then probably, man, then you get into like a stage of, I guess, Worthy. Okay, so
Yeah.
Chase Brown, Worthy, if Harvey's gone, and then it gets into a state of like, let's win now. So do you take, or you ride the Adunze train and you hope that he gets matured along at a good pace? But CMC.
I don't like Caleb though.
You don't like who?
Caleb. I'm not a Caleb.
Yeah, I don't either. So yeah. But I think Chase Brown, Worthy, or probably Harvey will be there. And Hunter's gone, I assume, right?
Yes.
Yeah, man, that sucks. Hunter's the one player I want in Dynasty pretty much almost more than anybody. But okay, so yeah, Chase Brown's fantastic, bro. Do you think you're getting one of those guys, right? Do we even need to go further? Chase Brown,
Yeah.
Worthy, or Harvey? You're getting one of them. That's great.
One of them for sure.
And then your wide receivers are Garrett Wilson and who?
That's it. That's all I have.
Okay, the reason I'm okay with that is I think you can go veteran shopping because no one's touching these veterans right now. Deebo's going to be available. Deebo,
DK Metcalf.
yeah, I mean, bro, you fill your team up with that. You'll be fine at these 2 wide receiver spots. Get Harvey, get that value. I like it, bro. Nice job. All right, call back if you got another one, William. Not William, Kevin. Sorry. Go over to Matthew 586. You're live on the No Nonsense phone line.
Hey, all I did was to call in and let you all know that Smitty is right about Deebo. If you've been watching since the beginning of the show, I just drafted Deebo in a dynasty startup at the 17th spot, the 165th spot of the draft. I stole Deebo Samuel. So go out there and draft Deebo. He's dropping like crazy.
You tell him, Matthew. You tell him. I appreciate you. Later.
Yes, sir.
And you can trade for him using second rounders. Go win a championship with Deebo. Bruce, you're live on the No Nonsense phone line. But dare I say,
Smitty.
Bruce lives in nonsense, so it's going to be hard to decipher what's nonsense and what's not. So he might be immune. Go ahead, Bruce.
That's right. I just want to say about Jackson Dart, as much as we say it's bad news, I think it's good news. And
Okay.
here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
What if the Giants throw Dart in? That means Neighbors' value is going to go down, and they're going to be throwing a lot in the third, fourth quarter, which means who they're going to throw to? Neighbors.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is he can only go down so much, though, Bruce. Like what's Neighbors going to drop to the second round? I don't think so. What or even if you're talking about in the season, what's he going to drop down to second round equivalent trade value? I don't think so. I don't think you can't pull the wool over everyone's eyes on this one. Like Neighbors is a stud, and he's probably going to produce no matter who's in there, Dart, whatever. And if Dart's so bad, Neighbors can't get the ball, I don't think people react crazy. Maybe in a redraft they do. Maybe Neighbors is one of the most. Maybe you're going to be right, Bruce. He'll be one of the most best buy low wide receivers in week 2 or 3, because let's say Dart's in there or something, or whenever Dart goes in. Honestly, Dart's not good enough to get the job, so I don't think he'll be in there. I think he'll probably sit him all year, but unless injury strikes or something. But we'll see. He could progress really quickly too. Maybe it's time not to give up on him, but I just don't see it, man. I just don't see. I didn't see it coming out of college. I called him the most overrated quarterback in the class. I just think, like Caleb, he was the most overrated. I think we nailed that one to a T. And I wanted Nix over Caleb every time whenever we talk about it. I wanted Penix Jr. over Caleb Dart's the same thing. Shador, Milroe over Dart all day long. Milroe's twice the QB Dart is. And people that don't like AR5 are going to tell you Milroe's garbage, because they got mad at AR5 and they're typecasting Milroe as the next AR5. Which is so dumb. It's so dumb. He reminds me of AR5. He's going to be bad. Milroe's nothing to do with AR5. How disrespectful is that? Can you imagine do you walk up to Jalen Milroe and go, "Hey, AR5, can I get your autograph?" Like, what makes you think they have any sort of commonalities at all? I mean, it's crazy. AR5, oh, he sucks, so therefore Milroe sucks. Why? Because he can do a backflip. I don't like that Milroe can do a backflip. Reminds me of AR5.
So in redraft, because I got a redraft coming up, Neighbors is gonna think he just might fall down to the second round value.
Yeah. Question is going to be, who's going to be better, Milroe or Shador? That's my QB2 battle. Dart has nothing to do with it, in my opinion. And it sucks, man, because, a lot of people come in here and say, Smitty, you think you know more than the GMs or whatever, or you think, obviously, arrogantly, I do, or I wouldn't be doing this. It's mind-boggling and head-scratching that someone actually come, and I see it. People will send me and laugh. They'll be like, look at this clip. They'll send it to me. And it'll be like, yeah, well, I'm no professional, but if I was doing this, I would, or I'm no scout, or I'm no doctor. Or, look, you got to you're doing this for a living. You got to verse yourself in everything. Of course, I think I could handle this better than 99% of the GMs. Adam Peters and Howie would give me a run for my money. I at least can be humble and admit that. But there are owners and teams and organizations that make dog crap decisions over and over and over. That's why I yell all the time. But if this was me, I would have drafted Shador. And if I was Liam Cohen, who I love, and I think he's going to do great, but he screwed up royally not drafting Shador when he continued to fall. Liam Cohen made one of the gravest mistakes I think he's probably ever going to make. And that's in case something happens, even if it's injury. This could be a Rivers and Breeze situation. Maybe Trevor Lawrence gets fixed, but then he gets hurt. And then Shador comes in and they can't take him out. And then you trade away Trevor Lawrence later. This could have been franchise building. This could have been one of the best moves Liam Cohen could have ever made, is to grab Shador, pair him to Travis Hunter. And the fact that yes, I do believe I can make better decisions than even coaches and GMs that I think do a good job. But yeah, Dart, I forget what we're even talking about, Bruce. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Anything else? Mark Cleveland in the house. Mark Cleveland.
Yeah. Who do you think has a better? Who's going to start sooner, Sanders or Milroe?
Sanders or Milroe? Sanders by far. Sanders might start week 1. Milroe's waiting for an injury. Darnold, they're paying too much money. This is Kirk Cousins. Darnold is Kirk Cousins 2025, the 2024 version. So they have to go down this road. Eric grabbing a loyal membership there. Eric, appreciate you. So no doubt in my mind, unless an injury happens, but no doubt in my mind that the job is not Milroe's to lose. They think Darnold, they paid Darnold a lot of money. I think this is Kirk Cousins, though. At some point, they will pull the plug and throw Milroe in. And not only that, bro, the shadow that Milroe casts, literally and just, you know, play on words, is going to be so overpowering for Darnold, who's been seeing ghosts for years, and he didn't see ghosts over in Minnesota for a while. But now, losing that opportunity, the confidence that he had, the only confidence he's ever had, is now shaken. And Milroe can do backflips, bro. he's such an athlete. Yeah, the fan base is going to be...
Second.
Put Milroe in. Put Milroe in. It's going to happen. There's no way he can live under this pressure. This would be like, there's the only comparable example I could even remotely come up with is that you had to hold the door open. That was your job. Your job is to hold the door open, Bruce. Okay? You're at a restaurant. You're the door holder. Okay? And hold door. From Game of Thrones walks up and they sign him. He's on the roster. Do you think you're holding that door for very long? No. Hold doors like Milroe. He's coming for that job. And no one's going to hold him back from it. All right. Anything else, Bruce, before I cycle you off the phone line? And then we'll be back tonight.
No.
All right.
No, that's it.
Travis, what else you got? Thank you, Bruce.
You got a super chat from Scotty Dew.
Okay. Scotty Dew from Hawaii. Can you imagine walking up to the bar that you got hired and they hired hold door from Game of Thrones and your job is to hold the door? I mean, that's what it's like for Darnold. You know, I don't know how he's going to be able to overcome this. Scotty Dew.
Not only
what
seeing ghosts, but he's got like the whole seeing ghost thing that's followed him his whole career. And now he's got Milroe breathing down his neck on top of it. It's just a lot. To fight against.
He's seeing White Walkers. that's what Darnold's seeing. Trade away Kupp for Reed or Ridley. I would take Ridley for the now, and I admit I've been a little hard on Ridley. But you know what I hate about this is as I get talked into liking Ridley. I remember this, and I'm not blaming Travis, but I remember, if I think I remember this clearly, I was a little hard on Ridley last year. And he actually did pretty well. But then I was like, and I remember you were talking, I really like him this year, and I remember a couple other people talking him up. Then all of a sudden, I'm back on the Ridley train, and then he disappoints me again. But he did have a relatively decent season. But he's so inconsistent that in non-best ball, you end up losing because of him more than he helps you. In best ball, he's okay. But I am starting to get excited about Cam Ward so much that I believe Ridley finally gets a QB, and then we'll see what he does. But if it's dynasty, I like Reed a little more. If it's a redraft mentality, I know this is probably dynasty, but I would go for the money maybe in Ridley. And I'll let you answer that real quick, Travis, and then I'll go over to BBQ's $50 hauler.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, Ridley's starting to, he's like 30, 31 now. So, but I think Reed might have a good season. I think they're going to use him more.
Yeah.
I guess it comes down to Jordan Love, which I just keep saying the same thing about Jordan Love. If he can be healthy, and with him, it's not even being healthy, it's not getting banged up. Seems like he's always nicked something or hurt something. Or he's got a knee problem or an ankle or something. So if he can avoid that, I think he'll be all right. The players will be good, but
yeah,
who knows?
I'm not a huge fan of
I love Reed though. I really like Reed.
Let me go to the BBQ super chat. BBQ, you straight up monster. People sleeping on the Chiefs made the Super Bowl last year without Rice and a suspect O-line. Mahomes going nuclear with Rice back. Worthy second year in the system. Pacheco, Brown, healthy. Kelsey, Gray, O-line improved. And don't forget, Brashard Smith and Jalen Royals, just a fantastic crew they've got there in KC. This is the most talented Chief team that they've had in a while, and people want to ignore that because they hate the Chiefs so much. People are so blind by their hatred for the Chiefs, they can't even think straight. I mean, Travis is
in depth.
Travis is a New England Patriot, fan, and he gets, he definitely is going to feel that Mahomes versus Brady thing, and he can think logically about it. I don't know why other people can't, just because they're all about Tom Brady, or they're all about this or that, or they hate the Chiefs, they hate Taylor Swift, they hate all this and that. They can't see straight. They can't see straight. The Chiefs are going to explode. They're going to explode. There's no way they don't explode. So BBQ 100% agree. You get a $50 bold prediction with your $50 hauler, my boy. So think of one. Maybe make it Chief related. All right, go ahead, Travis. Final thoughts, and then we'll come back tonight.
Yeah, no, just with the Chiefs, like on top of the talent they've now built in depth at wide receiver, at running back, like all around in that offense they have depth. Obviously, Noah Gray behind Kelsey. So, because that was the problem like last year and in the past at times that Mahomes was, throwing to no one. Just Juju Smith at the end of his career, and, MVS, and he's, just regular guys out there that weren't elite. And, so now like Hollywood is the third option, and, at wide receiver, and then they have Royals on top of that, and they have depth everywhere, even at running back. They're older guys, but they also drafted Rashard Smith. So when one guy goes down, the next one's going to step up. So
yeah,
I'll jump, but you got a couple membership things too.
Okay, I'll look at those. Yeah, I mean, this team is just loaded. I mean, I'm not putting everybody on screen, but this is the best pass catching, room they've had in maybe ever or a long time. You could say like, oh, prime Kelsey and Tyreek Hill is so good, but honestly, prime Rice and Worthy and Kelsey losing 20 pounds, we wonder what that'll look like. You can't sit here and say Tyreek Hill and prime Kelsey might not be, and even if it is better, that was top of the league, right? So what we're trying to say here is that this is back to being top of the league. It's back to at least prime Kelsey and Tyreek Hill. It really is. The fact that he's got three weapons, it's going to be different. It's going to be harder to contain than just having Tyreek Hill and Kelsey, Tyreek Hill, Kelsey. It's going to be Worthy being the Tyreek Hill role, stretching the field, getting more handoffs probably this year. I bet you Worthy rushes for 3-4 touchdowns this year.
Yeah. And because of that, that depth of options that he has, and Checo's ADP not being so high anymore, if he is starting, like you had mentioned before, Checo's becoming a little more attractive at certain builds of best ball.
Yeah,
like
DJ brought that up. I'll give DJ credit for bringing that up and making me think about it.
Yeah, DJ.
After I got off that live stream, I started to think about it. And I'm like, this is Joe Mixon. I don't think Mixon was top 5 for like 10 straight weeks 1 through 10. Mixon was unbelievable. He's QB or running back 1 for a majority of it. So I don't think Pacheco's going to be that good to a lesser degree. But this is one of those things where I don't trust Pacheco, but I don't need to. He's literally the starter, and he's going in round 9. And so you cuff him to Rashard Smith, and you do what I was describing earlier, which was the 2025 version of last year's Burrow, Chase Brown, Higgins, Jamar Chase. That's what won Best Ball Mania, is that combo of everybody. But now if you're drafting it, you have to pay first, second, third, fourth round value for it all. Whereas last year you could not even spend your second and third round players on it. But KC is now that Mahomes, let me see, is now that value stack where you go get Mahomes in round 7. It's not even 6, 7 anymore. It is 7. It is literally 7 that you can get Mahomes in. You get Kelsey in 8, if not later. So that's 8. I mean, just this pair right here is crazy value. And in best ball, you don't have to worry about Kelsey having big games, or your optimal scoring starts your top person for you. And then you got probably, if I had to pick one, I would take Rice in round 3. You could take Worthy in round 4 if you wanted. So you could do this without touching your first round pick or your second round pick or your fifth round pick. So you still have a 1, you still got a 2, and you still got a 5. So if you wanted to build this way, you could still take, let's call it a Lamb. So this is why I love this approach so much, is you take Lamb in round 1. You take, let's call it Bucky in round 2. Yeah. Bucky in round 2. Round 3 is Rice. Round 4 is Worthy. Round 5, you get Laporta. I don't know. Or what's another player? Harvey? Let's just say you get Harvey.
Yeah.
Harvey or Hendy in 5. And then you
that gives you 2 running backs.
And you still got a 6th rounder. I mean, look, Harvey could go 6 and Hendy could go 5.
Yeah.
So Hendy 5, Harvey 6,
strong.
Bucky 2, Lamb 1, and then you go get Dak in round 9 or 10 or whatever. And now you have Dak and Lamb stacked in best ball. You have Mahomes, Rice, Worthy, Kelsey, and you could get, Pacheco probably 2. You could get, if you get Dak in 10, you get Pacheco in 9. You could literally cross streams between the Dallas Cowboys and the Chiefs. And
Noah Gray.
An unbelievable team.
Noah Gray later to back up Kelsey.
I think we have a Best Ball Mania winner from this.
Yeah.
Do it live.
Yeah, because you get Noah Gray later. You can even take Royals later. I mean, you could manage to get almost all the Chiefs on one team.
I know.
And almost all the Cowboys on one team. Because of where, even the running backs from Dallas, they go later.
All right, Najee.
Ferguson, the tight end, goes later.
BBQ says Najee had 1K yards last year plus 250 yards receiving. What percentage of that would you see Caleb getting? People hating on Najee, but he was a solid running back too last year. I think Caleb Johnson could probably... I know we don't see exactly eye to eye on Caleb, but I don't hate him. I talk about Caleb in a positive way. I don't love his situation because of Warren. But if Warren got hurt or something, Caleb would be really, really good. The problem I have with Caleb Johnson is that his metrics, he had some bad metrics at the combine, but there's still a lot to like about him, and his tape looks good. I mean, you look at him in college, he was really, really solid. But I think what concerns me is that Arthur Smith is very vanilla. Warren was deemed the starter before the draft began. They like multiple running backs. So it really does come down to Caleb getting like 800, to 900 rushing yards. How much receiving work can he get? I don't know. 5 to 7 TDs. It's pretty decent numbers in best ball because you don't know when that's going to happen. Could this happen in like week 7 to 18? Like, could he do most of this damage and be extrapolating the numbers later and saying, oh, he played like a top 12 running back if you look at week 6 on? Like, that could be that type of situation. But in non-best ball, I probably don't draft as much, but I still like him as a bench player. And I think in non-best ball, you get him a lot later, so maybe it packages in the risk and you can still grab him. But I just have a hard time buying into Caleb over other players around Caleb's ADP just because it's such an unknown. And it's Arthur Smith, and it's the Steelers, and it's vanilla, and I just don't know what's in store for it. But I don't hate the take. I don't hate that Caleb could be really, really good. BBQ, this could be your call, and he certainly could be the guy. I have no doubt about Caleb or Quinshon Judkins being way better than people expect. And there are a lot of people that are on those trains already, so it's not like they're unknown players or people that the majority don't believe in. There's a lot of fan clubs for both of them. I just think they're both in pretty crowded situations in terms of that receiving production, because Dylan Sampson is a great receiving back. And Jaylen Warren's pretty damn good too. And if he's not starting full time, he probably has a better chance of staying healthy. So if Jaylen Warren doesn't get hurt, I just don't know if Caleb will be too one-dimensional to return high-end running back 2 numbers or even mid. And so then you're hoping he's a great flex play. But honestly, BBQ, you get him at flex value, the risk is baked in. So I'm fine with it. All right, anything else, Travis? See you tonight.
Yeah, no, just make sure you hit those the membership ones because I think they put questions in them about their team.
Oh yeah, we're done.
I
Okay,
want to make sure they got those.
All right, thanks, man. Later.
Yep, I'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.
Brandon says Dynasty trade Pearsall for JMO. Of course, bro. I look. People think I don't like JMO because we have people that say draft him around 3, which is stupid. But I love JMO, so give me JMO over Pearsall all day long. That's a great trade. How cute do I get in Superflex Dynasty startup with a QB ADP? Hunter, I wish I could tell you. It depends on your league, bro. You know, if you think, I've had people say we converted into if you converted, like you're a group of guys that are converting from a non-superflex to a superflex, you're going to see QBs get, people are going to be a little cautious grabbing multiple quarterbacks early. It's just, it goes against the nature of a non-superflex drafter. But if it's a shark-infested environment of very knowledgeable superflex drafters, just take, in my opinion, bro, I think it's such a fun approach to grab, make sure you're getting a Mahomes or higher, and then go back to non-superflex drafting and scoop out all the talent. And then when you get to a point where Penix is still there, if Bo Nix falls to your second-round pick just right, I do take Bo Nix and have both QBs, taken care of and done. I do like that. Penix Jr. around 4 or 5, Dak and 4 or 5. Love those if it happens. Some superflex, Dak and Penix and all those guys get taken in the third round or top of round 3 or bottom of 2. It just really depends. But worst case scenario, you grab Shadur and you grab Flacco, you grab Milrow, and you have the superflex position covered, and you just clean up at the other positions. That's usually my approach. I'll see you guys all tonight. Appreciate you all. Thank you for my super chats. We'll be back at midnight Eastern to draft. Don't forget Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Do it live. The link is in the description of the video. It's also pinned in the live chat. So hit that link. Underdog will match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. So if you want to draft tonight, make sure you hit the link. I'll drop the link one more time in the live chat. Make sure you're signed up so you don't miss drafting tonight. You want to have that sign up done before, and then you just open your app and you just, while you're watching the show, you just have the app opened and you wait for my instructions. That's how you get in to the draft tonight. Appreciate you all. See you all later.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
The 4 horsemen. The 4 horsemen. Do it live.
Got him.
The disrespected.
We need to add to the disrespected list as well.
The disrespected.
See you tonight at midnight Eastern. Deuces.